Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Mayanthi. I'm a qualified counsellor and I make videos all about how I became a counsellor and what you might want to know if you're looking to become a counsellor as well. So if you're interested in this type of content, make sure to hit the subscribe button and I hope you enjoy this video. I had a comment asking about overseas qualifications and registering with PACFA, if you can register while you're overseas before coming to Australia, and what the eligibility requirements are, and if registering with PACFA is kind of easy and simple. So I thought I'd just go through what the PACFA website says about overseas counsellors registering with them, just to make sure that you have the correct information. And obviously you can go and have a look at the website directly as well, but sometimes it's just nice to just chat through what a website says, because it can be a bit confusing to read it and understand it if there's jargon and things like that. So there is a specific page on the website, on the PACFA website, that says applying with a qualification from overseas. It says potential applicants who have studied overseas can apply for PACFA membership. However, the process is slightly different and can take longer. So firstly, it says to review the eligibility criteria and determine whether your course is likely to meet PACFA's requirements. The next step is to apply to Vet Assess, which is the Australian Government Assessment Authority, which determines where your qualification sits compared to an Australian qualification. There are two assessment options with Vet Assess. PACFA requires option 2, assessment of the comparative educational level of your qualifications against the Australian Qualifications Framework and PACFA registration standards. Next, if your Vet Assess application is successful, submit your PACFA membership application and include your outcome letter from Vet Assess. So obviously you would have done the Vet Assess application or assessment, you would have got a letter that says you were successful or your course met the standards. So you then go to PACFA, do the application there, and you attach your outcome letter from Vet Assess. It also says if you've completed a qualification which was not taught in English or was taught in English but not one of the designated countries which are listed below, PACFA also requires an English test to be provided with your application. And then you can find the English language skills standards for PACFA in the link here. They've also listed the designated overseas countries in which they mentioned earlier, so you can have a read of those. And then they've got the eligibility criteria for registering with PACFA. So it says your course must be equivalent to a bachelor degree or higher. Your study must have taken you 2 or more years. Part or full-time study is accepted. So in terms of the actual degree, it means that you can't have done a diploma. It has to be a bachelor degree or higher. Within your course, there must be a minimum of 400 hours of learning. So that includes lectures, tutorials, workshops, specifically in counselling and psychotherapy. Of those 400 hours, 140 hours must be face-to-face and in person. So you wouldn't be able to register with an online degree or having completed an online degree. Most of that has to be in person. Additionally, within the course, there must be a placement with a minimum of 40 hours of client contact and 10 hours of supervision attached to this client contact. So the 40 hours is a lot less than what it used to be. I'm not sure if that's just for overseas counsellors or including Australia, but yeah, it just says 40 hours of client contact for placement. So that is pretty good. I think that should be quite easy to get. But that's basically the requirements for applying with a qualification from overseas, and that's what that page looks like. So if you're interested in that, definitely just have a read of the page again, and there's different links that you can click for each of those steps as well. In general, with registering with PACFA, I was registered with PACFA. I'm not registered at the moment because I'm not practicing as a counsellor currently. But when I was registered, I did have to provide a letter from my university that stated I had completed the number of hours of client contact required, as well as supervision. And at the time, my course was recognized for registration with PACFA because we completed 200 hours of client contact with our placements. And I also had to include the list of hours, so I had tracked all the hours that I'd done for placement and supervision, so I had to attach that. You also have to get insurance, which you can get through the PACFA website. They're connected with an insurance company, so I just found it easier to get it through them. You can also get it separately and then attach your insurance certificate. As long as you have all your documents together, I find that it is easy to register with PACFA. And then once you are registered, you do have to keep up your professional development requirements and supervision requirements to continue that renewed registration with them. So I hope I answered your question for you. If you have any other questions, make sure to leave them in the comments below, and I will definitely get to answering them in other videos. I hope you enjoyed this video. As I said earlier, make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit that thumbs up button if you liked it as well, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.